Hello and welcome back to the second part of lecture 2. In this part, we are going to continue talking about variables and about printing and reading from the keyboard. And if you remember the last video, we were talking about how we can create variables, how to initialize those variables, how we can read from the keyboard using scanf. In this lecture, we are trying to handle each variable or each type of variable alone and go further to explain more things related to printf and also to scanf. So today, let's start. The first thing we will talk about is the integer. Maybe you have already saw the integer, how to define variable integer several times, because we even talked about integer last week in the first lecture. So we will see today further things or things you need to consider when you are printing the variable, the integer variable. So let's start. In this one here, the example at the front of us is example about how to define two variables, variable 10, and this variable 10 equal 10, and variable 2 which equal 2. This is okay, and this is simple. And then after that, there is how to print on the screen using printf. So this is just normal sentence printf, and then there is the next one, and this one here receives three arguments: one digit, and another digit, and another digit. Okay, so it's say one digit minus another digit is equal another digit. Okay, so and that means it need this sentence to print this sentence correctly. I need to provide three arguments here. 10, this is the first variable, will go here. Okay, so this will go here, whatever the value of 10. So and then the second variable, so that means this one will be 10 minus, and then it's another variable. So this variable will be this digit. Okay, so this one will be here, and then the third argument is 10 minus 2. This is a variable minus another variable. This is just math. So 10, this one is a 10. The value of this variable is 10. And the variable 2, the value of this one is equal to. So that means this one will appear. So this one, we call this one expression. Why expression? Because it has some arithmetic operation here. So this variable minus this variable, this is expression. So this expression here is 10 minus 2 equal 8. That means in the third argument we will provide 8. So that means the output of this sentence will be like this: doing it right. Okay, this is the first one, doing it right, and then 10 minus 2 is 8. Okay, 10 minus 2 is 8. Now let's go to the second thing here, doing it wrong. And this one here, we have one argument, d, minus another argument is another argument. Okay, so that means we need three arguments, but we only provide one argument. We forgot to provide two arguments more. So this is a problem. Okay, why it's a problem? So the first argument will go here. Okay, now the other two arguments will get some value. This value depends on what is the editor you are using to write C programming. That means it depends on the compiler where you are using to compile this code. So for example, if you are using Visual Studio, in this case, because you forgot this variable, you forgot to give this one, it will bring any garbage from the memory and put it here. Any garbage. This is garbage from memory. So maybe in your computer the garbage will be different. So this is some garbage will be in this digit. So will have some garbage from the memory. And then the second digit here also will get some garbage from the memory. Okay. So there will be two garbage values in case of Visual Studio. Now in the case of block code or code blocks, the output will be different. The output will be, he will get the two arguments from the previous two arguments in the previous sentence. Okay, so let's see. This one will be more clear when we will see this one, the example, by executing this example in both Visual Studio and code block. So in Visual Studio here, we have this one, and maybe this is why the reason we are asking you in the assignment to print us or to do print screen for your output. Why to print output, your output? To know, because there are maybe there are some students using Visual Studio, some students are using code blocks. If you are doing everything correct, in this case the output will be 100% as expected. But if you are doing something wrong, the output will be depends on Visual Studio or code blocks or Xcode or any type of editor you are using. So if you are doing the software correctly, the output will be correct 100%. But if there is something wrong, in this case the output will be depends on your editor. Okay, so let's run this one here and see what is the output of this one. So look here, the output will be like this. Doing it right, 10 minus 2 is equal 8. And this one, 10 minus some garbage from the memory is some garbage from the memory. This is wrong, okay? So now let's go to the okay, let's go to code blocks here and see what will be the output here. So here you can, by the way, if you want to build, first we build and then we compile. If you want to do both of them together, just click on the keyboard F9. Just click F9 in the keyboard and it will do both of them, and that means it will build and run at the same time. Okay, so you can do this one. So let's press F9 and okay, so this is okay. So yeah, because I'm using a recorder, the software to record, and that software could generate, there are some hotkeys which are not good to use with the hotkeys or the shortcut keys of the editor. So I will stick with this one by mouse because I don't want to press any key could make the video recording has a problem. Okay, so here you see doing it right, this will be 10 minus 2, but look here, doing it wrong is 10 minus, oh, he brought 2 and 8. This 2 and 8 looks correct, okay, but it's not correct. This one is just coming from the previous sentence, okay, whatever the previous sentence. So let's prove this one. So I will copy this one here, and then I will put this one here and say, for example, this one is equal 5 and this one is equal 5. Okay, so it will be 10 minus 5 equal 5. Okay, so this is the sentence here. That means what will be in this digit and what will be in this digit will be coming from not 2 and 8, it will come from 5 and 5. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so let's rebuild first and then execute. So you see here, you look here, so it's say 10 minus 5 is 5, and then after that there will be 10 minus 5 is, and even missing here. Okay, so this is missing, so this is unexpected output, this is wrong output. Okay, so this one what happened in case of code block. So what I want to say here, be careful, and when you are requesting some input here, some arguments, 1D here and 1D here, in this case, oh sorry, there is another D here, modular. Okay, so let's rebuild. Yeah, it's, you see, it's just brought whatever in the last sentence, whatever come in the last sentence, he brought it here. Okay, so this one is the behavior of code blocks. Okay, so this one is not unexpected behavior. That means the software will run differently in each, maybe it depends on how we compile the software and where we compile the software, which is really, really bad. Okay, now let's go back to here and continue. Now, another thing is to handle, for handling integers, you need to provide the correct specification for the output. So for example here, I define unsigned integer, okay, unsigned integer, and this one is the unsigned integer, and then I define another short, this is short variable, and then I define here long. Okay, so I define 3 variables, and then I will say here print, and I will print here modular u. U mean unsigned number, okay, unsigned number. And so you will see many of these modula here, not only modula D, there are many type of modula. So here modula U, and there is modula D, okay. Now modula U mean I want to print unsigned number. Unsigned number, that means this number is positive all the time, positive, okay. But modula D, a print number could be positive and negative, okay. So if you have unsigned number, you have to print using unsigned symbol. Don't print using D, because D will print the number as positive or negative. So look here, this one, the number here, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is around, this is a 3 billion. So this 3 billion here is printed okay in using modula U. But modula D, it printed different. It's printed with a minus, okay? So if you have, what I want to say here, if you have unsigned integer or unsigned long or unsigned short, in this case you will use unsigned symbol, okay? Another one here is, so there are many type of codes, the modula here. So if you want to see the whole modula, just click on this link here, go back to the previous slides, and you will see here all type of the modula. So modula D will print just decimal, signed decimal number. Modula F, this one will print float number, okay, signed float number. There is also S, meaning print string. And there is, we will continue here. So there is modula O to print octa number, and U to print unsigned integer, okay. F, this one for a float number, and also there is E, this is for scientific printing, and there is G here, and there is N, and if we continue here, we will have H. H is toward the short integer, okay, and there is L for long integer, and there is HH, this one for unsigned, this one for unsigned character. So this is character as integer, and there is, so there are many type of options. So this one here, for example, the digit of the character, this one HDD, will be the digit of the character, okay, and then U, that means it will be the unsigned digit of the character, okay. So there are many, and this one here also long, if you want, there is long, and this long digits, and there is a long unsigned. Long digits, that mean the long variable will be just positive or negative digits, okay. D mean digits, or unsigned, that mean the long all the time is unsigned, okay. So this is you can refer to this one if you want to choose the best printing for you. So let's go back to here. So here I want to print here digits. So I want to print here the digits. This one, the H here does not affect anything. So this is just digit, because this one end here is a short. So this one short digit and digits, all of them will do the same behavior. This one short digits, and these digits is positive and negative. So in this case it will be okay. This will be 200, and digits also will do the same behavior. So this one here, this one end will go here, and this end will go here, okay. So this end is what? This end is a short. So that means for the short I can use this modula, or I can use this modula, no problem, okay. Now for the long, let's see the long. For the long you can use LD, mean long digit, or you can use HD, okay. But if you are using HD here, that means you are printing short, okay. HD mean printing short, but you are using short. This is not short, this is long, okay. So when you are putting long data type, long variable, you put it to and you print it as a short, it will give you this kind of output. You see this kind of output. This is wrong, okay. So what we want to see here, we want to say if it's long, give it long, okay. If it's long here, you give it short, you give it to the short. In this case, you will have a problem. So if it's a long, you give it to the short. So how to solve this one? Maybe you don't give big here. If you don't give big, so you will give, for example, end. Okay, end is okay. End is a short. So print short to here is fine. So the result will be correct. Okay, so again, this one, just to tell you, you need to choose the correct specifier here, the correct one here to print the variable. You must be careful about choosing the correct one. Okay, now there is a story here about maybe sometimes what I say here, if you see this one, you will find that there are some results or some output are unexpected. Unexpected output, why? Because you are using the wrong specifier. Okay, so there is a story here. There was Arena 5 was a space. They want to launch a rocket which contain satellites to the space, and in that they call him Arena 5. Okay, so the European Union Space Agency spent like around 10 years to build this one. This is Arena 5. This one is the rocket to this one will send satellites to the space for the European Union. And at that time, the cost of this spacecraft, the rocket, and also the satellites inside this rocket cost the European Union around $7 billion. $7 billion, okay? And then after few seconds in the space, this one just explode. Just the software, the rocket explode in the space, and the whole $7 billion just gone, okay? And everything destroyed. And then later, they tried to investigate what was the problem, why this rocket exploded. Everything was okay. So they found there is a software to control the emission gas here, to control the gas, and that software, there was a software, and that software is doing what? That software has a small variable, okay, and that they are trying to have they have double. They have the problem like this. They have in the software there is double variable, okay, and as you know, the double variable has size how many bits, how many bytes? 8 bytes, okay, and they found that this variable, I give this variable to another variable, the value of this variable, I give it to another variable, integer variable I, for example, and they do like this. They exactly do like this. They say variable I equal variable. Okay, so what happened here? What is the problem with this one? The problem was the variable, this one is 8 byte. That means the data inside this variable is 8 byte data. It's very big data. And the variable at that time, it was just 2 bytes at that time. Now the integer is 4 bytes, but at that time, the integer was 2 bytes. So the variable, this variable is a small, so this variable is a small, and this variable is large, okay? So they assign small, large value, they give very large value to a small variable. So what will happen here? The small variable will just take part of this value. Part of this value, that means the whole calculations after that, which are depends on this variable, are wrong. Why wrong? Because you just give the large value to the small variable, and that means part of this variable is just deleted. In this case, just you have the partial value of this variable, and that variable was very important to control the fire, or to control the push of the rocket to the space. So this is what happened. So just little mistake. This one line in the software make the whole damage of $7 billion rocket and satellite. So what I want to say here, just little mistake. So for example, in here, just little mistake. We say modular HD, but this one should be, because this one is a long, it should be modular LD, not HD, LD. So if it was LD, everything would be correct. But it's HD, this is totally different results. Okay? So what we want to say here, you have to be careful when you are writing your software. And you should test your software and be careful that it will generate the correct output. Okay, now let's go to the next. This is very simple software here. In this software, I have some X integer, and then I will print modular D. So here is a one input, modular D, and there is modular O. Modular O is to print octa value of this number, the octa value. So you know the number, you can, in computer, the number could be decimal. That means the number is using same like what we are using nowadays. We are using in our real life. We are using 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, until 9, 10, and so on. This is the decimal system. And there is also the octadecimal. The octadecimal is just 1, 2, 3 until 8. And then after 8, it will go again 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this is the octadecimal. So you can convert any decimal, any normal number, 100 number, to octa using this equation here. So you will have this kind of equation to convert this decimal number to octa number. I think you already studied this one in Introduction to Computer Science. And if you don't, it's okay. It's not a big deal. Just I want to tell you, we can convert from any digital system to another digital system. That's it. This is what I want to say here. And also modular X to convert to hexa number. So hexa number is just from 1 to 9. And then after that, there is A, B, C, D, E, F, and then again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this is, we call it a hexadecimal system. So here we can convert any number. So this X will be printed as a digital, that means just normal number, and this X the same, it will be printed as octa number, and the same number we can print it as hexa number. So it will be like this. In decimal it will be 10, 100. In octa it will be 144, and in the hexadecimal it will be 64. That's it. This is what we have to see here. Also, you can control here you can add this one as 4 digits. If you want to do this one as a 4 digits, you will put the sharp here. Okay, so you say modular O, but you will put here the sharp. This sharp will generate 4 digits. Okay, and in the sharp here, in the hexadecimal, it will generate X here. X means this one is a hexadecimal number. Okay. Okay, so let's continue now to print characters. To print characters is also very easy. To define character, you will say character like this, and then this one is wrong. You cannot say mid variable, this variable equal A. This is one character. This is wrong. Okay, you cannot also use double quotation. You cannot say mid variable equal this character. This is also wrong. The correct one is to use single quotation. So just one here, and there is another one here. Okay, so there are single quotation. Okay, so let's see this one together. So I will go here, and then how we can define character. So we will see here, for example, character variable. Okay, so this is equal. So for example, and then I will say variable. Okay. Equal, for example, single quotation. So I say here equal A, for example. Okay, and that's it. Okay, so this is how we can define the variable and initialize the variable, give value for the variable. How to print the variable? So you will do like this: print f, and then you will say, don't forget the semicolon after each sentence. You will say here, for example, variable has value, and then after that, so modular C. This is the character. Okay, so modular C, and then you will put the character. So you say here variable. Okay, so this is how you can print the character. So let's build and run. You will find this one here. The variable has value A. Okay, so this one modular C mean character, print character. Okay, so the same thing you can do in Visual Studio if you want. So this is how you can define variable. If you put here modular D, let's see what will happen here. It's a character. This one is a character, but you say modular D. So what will happen? So in this case, he will bring the decimal value of the character. So the decimal value of the character is 65. 65, this one, from where he brought this 65. So this 65 is the ASCII character of the letter A. So let's see here, ASCII table or ASCII table, okay, for example here. And then let's go to the ASCII table in the image and let you see from where he brought, here is it. So if you see here, let's see character A. Where is the character A? Oh, okay, let's see this one. Yeah, here is it. The character A is the value in the decimal is 65. Okay, this is decimal. In the okay, here is it, decimal 65. In hexa it's 41. In octa is 101. Okay, so this is the character A. A small letter is different. A small letter, for example, is 97. And this one 61, so 97. So let's see, I change this one to A small letter, and let's see the output. Well, what will be the output for this one? It's 97. Okay, if you want to print the octa of that character, you can do that also. You see the octa of the number. Okay, so the octa value of the variable A small letter. Okay, so you can do like this for any character you have. Okay, you can print the decimal, you can print the character itself, and you can print the hexa value of the character. Okay, so this is how you can. Okay, this is another example here. If you say, for example, yeah, this is just scanf. So scanf, if you can read characters, how you can read characters? You say, for example, please enter a character, and then you will ask scanf, and then you say modular C. Be careful here. You will not say modular D for getting digits. For example, if this one is integer, but this one now character. So character, you will say scan C, modular C, and then you will put the character. Okay, so the variable. So it will read the variable, and then you can print this one. You say modular C, and you can print the character. So let's do this example together. So I can here say, for example, I will have a variable, and I will not give any value for the variable. And I will say here one message, nice message. I will say, please insert value for variable. For the variable, okay? And then after that, I can put here, for example, /n, mean just new line, and then that's it. Okay, so this is how you can print. And then after that, I would say scanf. Okay, so I will scan, and then in the scan, I will just say here, I want to read what? I want to read character. So I will say modular C. If I want to read integer, I will say modular D. If I want to read unsigned number, I will say modular U, and so on. Okay, so I will say modular C, and then I will read the character. Don't forget the and symbol, and say variable. Okay, like this, done. Then after that, I can print whatever I read. So I will say here, print f, and I will say, for example, the variable A is, and then I will say here modular C, and it's, for example, its ASCII value is modular D, for example, the ASCII value of the character, okay, and its ASCII value is D, and also the hexa value, the hexa, okay, the ASCII value is D, for example, decimal is this one, and then hexa, for example, modular X, and for example, octa okay, octa is modular O. You can do that. So, and then after that, now let's see how many input we have. So we have C, that means I will put the variable here. So I will put the variable. So let's see, variable. This one will go to this one, the character. And then the digit of the character will be also the character itself. So it will be the digit of the character. And then I want the hex of the character. So I will put the hex of the character. And then I want the octa of the character. So here is it, the octa of the character. And then done. I think done here. Okay. And then after that, maybe I will put here. That's it. Okay. I think that's okay. Even it's very long sentence, but anyway, so here is it. Okay. Let's repel this one and see what will be the output of this one. Okay. Insert the variable. So I will put variable A capital letter. And then let's see. Okay, it's the variable is A. Look here, the variable is A, and its ASCII value is 65 41 101. Yes, that's okay. Everything is correct. Okay, so this is how you can read characters from the keyboard. Now we have another thing. So if you have to read multiple characters at the same time, not only one character, multiple characters. So in this case, you will have a problem. So let's see what is the problem. The problem here is that when you are reading multiple characters, so for example, you have here this software, read 3 characters. So there is a character light, there is a character lane, and there is a character turn. So the first one I say, is light red? And I need to read one character light. So you say yes or no, okay? So you will say Y, mean yes, or you can say no, N, okay? Then after that, you will read another character. Are you in the right lane? And it will read one more character. And then after that, say, are you making turn? And it will read one more character. Okay, so let's see, let's play with this example. But just for the sake of time, I would like to copy here, but let's remove something from here. Okay, now let's see here the example as I want. The original example, it will be like this. Okay, so by the way, I deleted by mistake one scan here. So scan F, and this scan F will read one character. It will read modular C, and it will read, okay, modular C, and this one will read the next one, lane. Okay. So we have a 3. So what is the problem? In the case of you are reading multiple characters, you have a problem. If you are reading multiple integer, no problem. But when you are reading multiple characters in the same software, you have a problem. So let's see what is the problem. So the problem is like this. You are reading, so here is a question, and you answer him with one character. And then another question, and then you are answering this one with one, you have some input. And then another question, and then you are answering. Okay, so this is the software. So you are reading 3 times, 3 characters, character, character, character. Okay, you are reading 3 times characters. So let's see what is the problem with this one. Okay, let's run. Okay, here is it. You see, this one does not respond to you. Okay, it does not respond. So same thing, if I copy this one, let's copy this one to Visual Studio. And now here, same code. So I will run. By the way, it will be it's another story in Visual Studio. So in Visual Studio, the software has error. The error here is that in Visual Studio, they don't allow you to use a scanf. They said, no, don't use a scanf. But I want to use it. So in this case, what you will do one trick here. You will say up here, maybe here, I will say here, the top line here, you will write one sentence, define, you will say like this. So you will say define, and then you see this message here, underscore CTR secure no warnings. You will write this one here. So you will say here underscore CTR underscore secure. This is must be secure no Okay, no warning. Yeah, it will be like this. So let's try now and compile again and see if this, okay. Okay, secure, CTR. Okay, let's. Okay, so maybe I should. Oh, sorry. This should be here, I think. Yeah. Yeah. Let's run. Okay, let's go to online and see how we can handle this one. Yeah, this is just a very common problem in Visual Studio. You have to define this one. It's like this. It should work. Ah, it works. Maybe I did some. Okay, look here. But so maybe I missed some one character or something. So yeah, it works now. So just you do it like this, okay, for the warning. Because this one does not accept, in Visual Studio does not accept scanf. They need scanf underscore s or s scanf. Okay. So anyway, look here. I'm reading. So the first sentence say is light red, and it will ask you for one input. So I will say yes, for example, like this. Why? Yes. Okay. And then you click because now we want to go to the second sentence. The second sentence. So click enter. It will just jump and go to another one. So it's, look here, he skip are you in the red light lane? He skipped this question and he go to the next question. Okay, confirm answer. So are you making turn? Are you making turn? So he's jumping one question and go to the next one, which is bad. Okay, I don't want the software to jump in the case of scan. So he's jumping, and this one maybe yes, and it will be like this. Okay, so this is wrong behavior. So this is what we have, the problem we have here. And also here, same thing. So when you are running, so this one maybe it does not run at all. Okay, so what is the problem here? So you need to use something like flush, that means clear, that after each scan you will do this one, flush. Okay, so you will use this flush, and you will say here flush meaning clean the keyboard, the input or the keyboard, means start reading from the keyboard again. So this is what I mean by this one. So I will just say please clean the input to the keyboard and restart connect to the keyboard again. So this is in a very simple way. I don't want to go in details for this one. So if I run, you see here, is the light red? Now is the light red is working. So let's see here. I will say yes, and then click enter, and then are you in the right lane? Say yes, and it's jump. It did not ask me the third question. Oh, it does not ask me the third question. So ask me two questions and did not ask me the third question. So what is the solution? Just put this one also here. Okay, so you will put this one after this scan, and then after this scan. So please, after each scan, put this one. Okay, now let's run and see if this one will work fine or not. Okay, so repelled. Okay, run again and say yes. Second question, yes. Third question, yes, and everything is working. Okay, so if you have a multiple scanf, use flush. Okay, use this one if you have multiple character reading. Another one which could work also is to use as shown here. You will use fseek, this one. Okay, fseek, this is also good. So for example, let's go to Visual Studio here, and then after this scan I say fseek, and then after this scan I say fseek, and then after this scan I say fseek. Okay, so you will do this, you just copy this one, okay, and use it. That's it. Okay, this one same like the flush, and then run again. Okay, let's see if this one is working fine. Is the right thread? Yes, and here is the confirmation answer is yes. Are you in the right lane? Yes. And it was okay, and now ask me that, and for example, are you making a turn? No. And everything is working. Okay, so what I want to say here, please, after reading characters, you need to use this kind of seek, okay, or flush. Okay, now let's go to the next things. The next things to learn today is the characters, or we call them non-printing characters. So those non-printing characters are used to format the printing, to make formatting for the printing. So this one, some example of this one is the modular T, modular V, modular N. So we already know backslash N, the backslash N to make a new line. But there are other, like for example, slash R, slash T. So let me just show one of these examples. So here, okay, let's have simple example. So I will say here, for example, print F, and I will print here, for example, okay, this is fun. Or first, I will say, for example, welcome to, for example, fun software. Okay, and then after that, I will say slash N. And then I say, you can enjoy this software slash T by clicking any key, for example. Okay, and then slash A, for example. Okay, so let's see what is this one doing. Run. I miss the semicolon. He told me here you have no semicolon, so I will do the semicolon. So here you see, welcome to fun software, a new line, and then you can enjoy this software. Oh, there is a space here. This is space because of what? Because of the T. Okay, and you by clicking any key, so there is a tab here. This is a tab keyword. So by clicking any key. Okay, so this is how you and then modular. So this one is the alert. This one is alert. So alert will generate. So let's run this one again. You see the voice. There is a voice you heard in the computer. This is the voice of the alert. Okay, so this is the alert. Okay, and there are also backspace, and there is backslash F, and so on. So you can try all of this one by yourself. Also you can put here this double quotation, single quotation. So for example, by, and then I will say here any, okay, by clicking a, for example, a, okay, for example, this one, V key. For example, click the V key. Okay, so by clicking a V key. So let's see what is this one will show. Okay, by clicking, you see the single quotation here. This one are the single quotations. So by clicking a, and then single quotation here, single V key. Okay, so this is how you can print the quotations, for example. Or you cannot do the quotation, by the way, like this. If you cannot do that, so try like this, the V, and Yeah, this is also possible, but how about double quotations? If you do double quotations, let's see this one, and run, it will tell you error. Oh, there is a double quotation here, and there is double quotation here, but these double quotations to close the printing. But those double quotation here are only for the V. So how you do that? You will do like this, okay? So let's see like this, and then run. Yeah, you see? This is the how you can do this one, okay? So those are good for formatting your printing, okay? Now next one is how to print scientific or float number. So how to print float number, you define a float, and then you can do the float number in this way. So you can say float a boat and then equal this number dot something, okay? This is a float number. Or also double is the double is the float but big size. So the float is 4 bytes, the double is 8 bytes. So this one you can define the double using this way, or you just define it as the float, okay? No problem. So you can define the double, but this double here, if you see, it's equal 2.14 10 to the power 9. This is e to 10, 9 mean 10 to the power 9. This is the meaning of this one. Here is dip equal, this is double also, equal 5.3.32 times 10 to the power minus 10. So this one is exactly same like this. This one is 5.32 times, okay, times. Okay, let's insert some symbol. So this is times 10 to the power minus 5. So okay, it's exactly like this. So let's see, put this one here, and then I will format this one so you can see. So this one will be okay. It will be exactly like this. So this number is exactly this number, okay? So this is the meaning of the E here, okay? So you can print this one. We can try this one if you want. So let's try this one here, just to let you see how this one is working. I will rebuild this one. I really recommend you to do this one by yourself, or I mean write down these examples by yourself. Don't copy and paste. Why? I'm copy and paste here just to make the video short as much as possible, but in your case you have time, please practice this one by yourself. So here, look here, this is a float, and this is how to print the same number. This number is just as a float number, and you can print the number as a scientific number. Scientific number, it will be like E. There is E in the middle, so you'll use E here, okay? And this is, you print as a float, and you print it as E, okay? So you can print it with a number as a float. Even the number is as E, but it's okay. You can convert it to without E if you use F. And if you want it with E, you back again with E, you can use it like this. It will back again as E, okay? Same thing for here, for the third number. This one as F will be very small number because it's 10 to the minus 5. And without E, with E, it will be like this, okay? So this is how you can control this one. So, okay, so this is for the float. I believe we saw this one last time also. Now here, you can, this is for characters. You can use that. You try this one by yourself if you want to use it. Skip sequence and backspace sequence. So this one here, you will have this kind of printing. So this is very important for the printing. So you say enter your desired monthly salary, enter month salary, and then you will put here, for example, dollar, and this one is the under. This one is the underscore. This is underscore, and then there is skip characters, and then you will read from the keyboard some float number. This is me read from the keyboard float number, and this one will go to this float variable, and then after that you will print this float number. So you say here new line, okay, new line, and then there's a tab. Tab means jump. Tab. You see the space here? Tab space. And then put the dollar sign, and then put the float number, but the float number here is only have 2 digits after the dot. 2 digits after the dot, okay? And then a month is, and then you will put here another float number, also has 2 digits after the float, a year, okay? So this is how, and then you will put here salary. Salary will go to the first number, and salary for the whole year is equal salary times 12. So each month salary times 12, this will be the second number here, okay? And then after that, you will print something like this one of this printing. So let's try this one. Okay, let's try this out software. Okay, here is it. So recompile, yes. Okay, and then run. Okay, so it will be like this. It will be enter your desired monthly salary. Okay, monthly salary, and then there is a dollar, and in the dollar, look here, in the dollar, and there is an underscore. If you see, this one is underscore, and in the underscore here, sorry, in the under, where is it? In the underscore, you will have underscore, and then there is backspace. Back mean make the cursor go back. So the cursor must be here. The cursor must be in this location. But I tell the cursor go back, go back. So the cursor go back how many times? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 steps. So it will go back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 steps. So the cursor will stop here. And then after that, you can insert any number you want. So we are waiting some number. So for example, 1,000. For example, 1,000. And then you click enter. So it will tell you, this one here will say for you a new line. And then it will say here for you, by the way, why this G is coming here? Because you are using, this one mean retain. Retain mean retain the cursor and then print. So it will retain the cursor to the first, the previous line. R here means retain the cursor to the previous line. So it will go to the previous line. So G must be here. But because you are putting modulo R, the G go to the previous line. Go to the previous line G, and then there is a tab. This tab is coming from this T. And then there is the number 1,000, and then a month, and then there is 12,000 a year. Okay, so this is how you can you can control the output using this one modulo B, backslash B and the backslash R, backslash T. So all of this one you need to try play with them by yourself. Okay. Okay, so that's it for this lecture. So in this lecture 2, we learn many things. We learn about many things about printf. We learn many things about scanf. We learn also many data types like integer data type, float data type. We learn character data type. And then also for the integer data type, we learn many types of integer. We learn integer, we learn int, we learn short, we learn long, we learn long. And also we learn for the float data type, we learn float, double, and then we learn a long double, okay? Also we learn character, like char is a character. Also we learn in this lecture about size of, this one to tell you what is the size of the variable or what is the size of the data type, okay? And then also we saw how we can print numbers in a decimal system, how to print the number using modulo O as octa or modulo X as hexadecimal. Also we learn about backslash B, backslash T, backslash N, backslash R. Those non-printable sequence, we can use them to format our printing. Okay, so those all we cover in this lecture. And also we saw several examples during the lecture. So I really urge you to practice these examples before you start the assignment. And the assignment for this week already posted in iCampus. Check it, and if you have any question, feel free to write your question in the discussion section, of the week, and me and the TAs will be happy to answer any question you have or any difficulty you have during the solving of the assignment or during the study of the lecture. Thank you, and I will see you next lecture.